Say again?
Commitment.
Okay.
Old timers have more commitment as far as their work and relationships.
Yeah. What the old timers did is they didn't spend any money for themselves. They didn't buy Corvettes. They didn't buy new houses. Right? They were very frugal. Right? Everybody was like, hey, look at, no signs and displays of wealth. And it could be because they were deathly afraid. They started making some money and they were like, I don't know if I'm going to continue to make this money or whatever. But I also think inherently they had an understanding of this concept being stuck in the middle. So what a lot of these old timers were looking for was not to be on the second mountain, to be on the third one. But in our culture today, the second we make a little scratch, here goes the car, there goes the house, here are the watches and everything else. We got a level of success that other people look at and they say, okay, this guy may be doing well, he's successful, and now you're kind of stuck in the middle. I mean, I remember being a young guy and being around contractors. I know a guy, massively huge plumbing contractor in the 1980s and 1990s doing $100 million a year. In the 1980s and 1990s. And he drove a Jeep Wrangler. Okay? Try to find a $100 million contractor today that's going to do that, and that's going to be his daily ride. He's going to be on Instagram in a Ferrari. Just different, right? And because of that guy, he was able to start and be the seed capital to take to the top of the tops. Okay, that's where the name comes from for that company. I think I've said that story to you guys a bunch of times, but I'm back streaming on YouTube, so I have to be kind of not really get into the weeds about that type of stuff. Okay? So, like, this metaphor, to me, that's what I see. 3 mountains. First mountain, survival. Second mountain, stability. Third mountain's mastery. Most people climb the first mountain with intensity. They're fighting hard to survive. Then when they get there, they get to the second mountain. They build a house. They stop climbing. They say, this is good enough. Okay, but from the view of stability, it ain't the same from the view as mastery. And the longer you stay on the second mountain, the harder it becomes to start climbing that mountain again. Because comfort makes you heavy. So these guys stayed hungry. They kind of had a level of austerity that kept them hungry. That's what I read into this metaphor. Getting comfortable on the second mountain is being stuck in the middle. And then you got sand in your gears, and it's very difficult to start climbing and getting to the third mountain. We talked about this yesterday at contractor school. Like, in contractor school, we laid out where the rubber meets the road on how to prevent margin bleed. Like, that was the equation that we're solving for. These are all the areas where we're bleeding margin. Here is how we can fix it or be in a place where we can prevent it. This is the remedy for this diseased condition of margin bleed. And here it is laid out. Okay, and you can implement it uniquely in the manner that it works for you and your company, but this is the equation we're solving for because this is where the margin bleeds. That's where the rubber meets the road. The question is how many are going to actually do it. Because the fantasy is a much better place to be for many people than the actual execution of everything that we talked about last night in contractor school, which means you're going to have to deal with pushback from your people. You're going to have uncomfortable conversations. You're going to have to expand your identity and actually live in that decision that you make, the play that you called. You're going to have to put your bet on that. And then you can't fall off with consistency because you need to lead from the front. Leading from the front means leading by example, not leading by decree. Leading by example, showing, improving. Rising tide raises all boats. That's going to be you leading from the front. That's where the rubber meets the road. 99.9% of contractors out there or entrepreneurs in general are not going to do those things. Even though what they want are the answers to those questions is what they say. And we provided them last night. They're all there last night. Question is, who's going to do it? Because maybe stuck in the middle. But doing those things are going to get you climbing the third mountain of mastery. So I want you guys to answer this question to yourselves privately, okay? Where am I comfortable? Where have I stopped pushing? What have I normalized that used to scare me? And where have I lowered my standards? Because if you don't identify the comfort, you're not going to be able to break it. Who's that? Oh, that's Anthony. Let me just mute him. Okay. If you don't identify the comfort, we won't be able to break it. So if you want to escape the middle, which is the most dangerous part for entrepreneurs, okay, you don't need more effort. You don't have to wake up in the morning and run 50 miles a day, and if you don't do that, you're a pussy and you're worthless. You don't have to be like that guy with the beard. He looks like he's from the movie 300 that gets in like street fights and stuff like that. He was taught kung fu by a Chinese takeout guy. How many of you guys seen that guy? What's his name? Oh man, it's hysterical. It's hysterical. I'm going to start doing some videos on him. His name is King something or other. He's an Israeli. Oh my God, it's the most funny thing. I'm like, I think I've seen this movie. I think it was called, what was the movie with Jackie Chan and Will Smith's kid? Karate Kid. Yeah, I think I saw this. It was called Karate Kid, dude. After school, you went to the Chinese takeout restaurant and taught you kung fu. I think we all saw that movie, dude. You don't need more comfort, guys. What you need, or more effort, rather, you need more escalation. Okay? You need to escalate the urgency and everything. Okay? Escalation is a sharper offer, higher standards, more aggressive follow-up, a bigger ask, more volume, higher pricing, faster execution, stronger positioning. It's escalating everything that you're currently doing. It's breaking out of the middle. It's ratcheting it up. Okay, the difference between the middle and mastery is intensity of execution. Execution, execution, execution. Not information, information, information. Feel good, feel good, feel good. Give me an emotional uplift. Get me motivated. Motivation is you asking for permission to do something that benefits you. Because once the motivation wanes and subsides, you're going to go and consume again to get motivated again. The act of having to go consume again is you asking for permission from an external third party to get you in a mindset to do what you're supposed to already do. You're asking for permission from someone else instead of having a self-motivation to go do what you need to do and what's necessary for you to do. The intensity of execution is what matters. Execution is the only thing that matters. Not how you feel. Not the chemical triggering in your mind when you read or hear something from an audiobook that makes you feel emotional. That was going to burn out. It's going to disappear. And what does that matter if you don't do anything about it anyway? The market rewards consistent execution, not consistent feelings. It doesn't reward talent or intelligence. It rewards execution consistently. That's it. It's the only thing it rewards. You could be hyper intelligent, sit in a wheelchair, talk through a computer. The world is not going to reward you. The market's not going to reward you until you execute on those things. Use that intelligence you have. What about talent? People that are incredibly talented that don't execute. The market doesn't reward you because you're innately talented. So I want you guys to pick an area in your business today that you're going to make a decision to escalate. You're going to ratchet up the intensity of your execution. As I hearkened back to contractor school yesterday, where we talked about all the things where the rubber meets the road. Those are the things that are going to prevent margin bleed. You guys are operating on a 10% net margin at the end of the year. Look at your books, audit your financials. 10% net margin. You got 20, 30 points in jobs, which means you're going to make 20 points on the job, 10% is going to overhead, and after everything is paid, hopefully you're around 10%. You're probably between 8 and 10. You want to pull $1 million out of the business, which means you need to have a revenue top line capture this year within a 12-month period of $10 million to pull $1 million out. That's only going to happen when we escalate the intensity of our execution and everything that we've been learning, the brass tacks tactics. So I want you to pick an area in your business today that you will escalate. By the way, do those numbers. It'll bring you right back to reality. Stop the YouTube video. Do the number. You're going to see I'm sitting in my office and spend 45 minutes listening to this guy. I could have had 45 minutes of doing all the things I'm supposed to be doing. There's no other. The math doesn't lie, dude. You running a 10% net margin, you want to pull $1 million out of the business this year, you got to capture $10 million top line revenue in this year. Otherwise, how else is it going to come? Where else is it coming from? You going to manifest it out of the skies? It could drop on your lap. Okay? So I'll give you some examples about escalating. What about doubling your follow-ups? How about raising your price a little bit? Easier to do when you guys are marketing upstream. When you're not marketing directly to the owner. You're being recommended. You're being brought in. Easier to do that, right? Increase your outbound volume. How about you just launching these systems we talk about instead of tweaking them? Just doing them, calling a play. Okay? There's a million different things that you guys can be doing that are the legs of the scaling stool that need to be buttressed. So escalate the intensity. Okay? You guys are not built to live in the middle. You're entrepreneurs, especially if you're on this call. Every single day. Tuesday and Wednesday nights. One-on-ones with me. You guys are not built to live in the middle. You are not the poor and timid souls that will neither know victory nor defeat. You guys are all the men in the arena, mired with dust and sweat and blood. You are not meant to be living in the middle here. You are not built to do decent or do good enough. Every one of you guys here were built to expand and get to mastery. Everyone on this call. All the other people that are consuming and watching, not betting on themselves, those guys are the ones that are stuck in the middle, not you. The middle is safe, and it's stable, and it's comfortable, but the middle will steal your edge. And once your edge is gone, regaining it back again is twice the effort. And everyone here knows that. When you have momentum, and you're in a routine, and you're rocking and rolling, and you lose it, to get it back is much harder than when you had it before. So today's Power Hour is not about motivation, it's about a decision. Shocker here. Never really here to motivate you. Here to give you the reality to start making decisions. Are you staying in the middle? Or are you on your ascent and you're climbing again? Because the ones who dominate are not the ones who are the most talented. They're the ones who refuse to get comfortable. So who's climbing here? Who's climbing here? Hands up. Who's climbing or who's staying comfortable? Climbing. Okay? Climbing is exertion. It's exertion of energy. It's intense focus on where your hand goes next and where your foot goes next. Okay? It's running out of breath. It's staying on the mountain and continuing to climb and not staying comfortable. Okay, good. Everybody's committing here to be climbing. I could see it in the boxes. I want you guys to go out today, and I want you to execute like someone who refuses to live halfway. I want you to actually start becoming dangerous. That's what I want. I want you to win this month. I want you to win this week. I want you to win the deal. I want you to win with the client. I want you guys really to become dangerous operators. Because when you guys become dangerous and you can't be satiated and you have that championship mentality, Winning will become inevitable. Because the problem is, really, most entrepreneurs are still operating like nice people. I'm not saying don't be ethical. I'm not saying don't be a good person. But I'm telling you, the market is not kind, as all of you guys have realized. The market is not kind. The market is competitive. And the market's not going to reward a soft energy. It rewards sharpness. It rewards power. And it rewards certainty and consistency. It's going to reward the person that shows up like they're not just here to be tolerated or to go through the motions. That they're here to take the territory, to dominate in what they're doing. And most people, guys, are not losing because your competitors are better than you. Believe me. I speak to your competitors every day. They're not better than you. They're scared to death. They're not willing to put a bet on themselves. They're not willing to disrupt the thing that they have going on to make it better. They're not willing. But what I have noticed is many times the competition is a little bit more aggressive than you. They may be following up a little bit harder. They might market harder than you do. They ask for the sale maybe a little bit harder. They pitch harder. They stay in the prospect's mind a little bit harder. They're not smarter. They're a bit sharper in that regard. And sharpness is just a decision. It's not intelligence. It's a decision to stay powerful. So when I say I want you guys to become dangerous, what I mean is I want you to stop playing with your business like it's an experiment. I want you to stop tiptoeing around things. Stop waiting for the perfect timing or for your confidence to be ready. You got to call plays that you're not ready to call. And you're imperfect. So you're going to call wrong plays, but you got to call plays. And we're going to get the feedback from the play call. And we've got to learn fast, but we got to call them. You need to have the confidence to do that. And confidence is earned by action. It's not something that you wait for. I got a guy in my family who's just constantly waiting to build his confidence and constantly waiting for the perfect opportunity that never comes and hasn't come in 40 years. Because that's not how it works. You have to call the play, not knowing how the play is going to end up. You cannot have a reward in a risk environment. We're in a risk environment. We got to call a play. And then we need to learn from that play very fast. And those actions will build your confidence. A dangerous entrepreneur doesn't ask, do you think this will work? A dangerous entrepreneur is going to ask, how do I make it work? I'm solving for this equation, like we talked about last night. This is where I'm bleeding margin. That's the equation that I'm solving for. Not do you think it'll work? How do I make it work? Because I got to stop the bleeding. It's a totally different angle of approach and mentality. One is a limp entrepreneur. The other one is a dangerous one. Okay? I need you guys to start weaponizing your skill set and everything that you guys are learning. Okay? Because the business is not going to be built by motivation. I know that for a fact. I grew up in it. I've been around it my whole life. The business is built by pressure tolerance. That's how the business is built. Making decisions, calling plays, absorbing the pressure, tolerating it, expanding the identity, moving forward, climbing the mountain. It's not going to come by being motivated in how you feel. How you feel means nothing to the market today. It also means nothing to the people who you're paying. They don't care how you feel. Your customers don't care how you feel either, and your business doesn't care how you feel. You're a steward to that business. They're like your children. You created something that now exists and is alive, and it's your job to be the steward of it. Doesn't matter how you feel today. Now that pressure is what's going to force you guys to become resourceful. Remember when you were broke, how resourceful you were. Before you got comfortable, how resourceful you were. That came from pressure. You were painted into a corner. You had your back to the wall. You knew the only way out was through. Not around, through. And you had to fight it out. And you became very resourceful because pressure forced you to become precise. It lasered your focus. It strengthened your desire and your intensity in what you were doing. Businesses fail and people go broke because they retreat when the pressure shows up. And they retreat when it gets uncomfortable and when the numbers aren't perfect and they're not responding fast enough. The dangerous entrepreneur is going to lean into the pressure. He's not going to retreat. He's going to adapt. And he's going to use that pressure to sharpen him and refine him and become more lethal. And that is what I want you to do today. I want you guys to stop trying to win. Stop trying to get lucky. Stop trying to be perfect and find the perfect strategy. Instead, I want you to focus on becoming dangerous. And everything that you guys are going to do related to the legs of the scaling stool. This morning. If you do this, what you're looking for will be inevitable. Most won't. Most won't. But this is a message of hope because you are in control, nobody else. So if you really want it, if you really want what you say you want, we need consistent execution. And this is where the rubber meets the road. The good feelings and the emotionality and the rah-rah is over. It's February 18th. I got there pretty fast with this group. This is where you're going to be able to hold your head up high, guys. This is where you're going to be in a position where, like, hey, man, you can't tell me nothing. I'm out here fighting every day. I'm out here doing it, pushing the limit. This is where it becomes real. Okay? How many of you guys committed to making it real? Come on. Dan's got his hand up. You're limping in. Nathan's got his hands up. Bunch of cameras are off. Well, can't say I didn't tell you so. Then when you wash and ring the bell, I'll be following you on social, and I'll see you at Grant Cardone's. Looking for another fucking emotional therapy session. Looking for another special piece of information that's going to magically change the fact that you don't execute. How is that possible? Can someone explain that to me? How is it possible? Can someone please tell me that I'm wrong? I want the pushback. How is it fucking possible that magically someday, finally, you will eventually what? What's going to happen? Another video, another book, another audio, another emotional reaction, another tears in your eyes in the truck of your car, crying like a 16-year-old girl. You got all sorts of emotional fucking... What is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen until the execution begins. Nothing. It's a fantasy. You all want the rewards that live in reality, but you don't. Turn the YouTube off. Delete the Instagram from your phone. You're being led down the wrong path. What matters is foot to ass every day until you're done. You're taking back steps. Find the aggression. Find your intensity. Have the hard conversations. Call the plays. Learn from them and get back in the game and do it again. Every day. Feel the pain. It's the only thing that's going to matter. You've got to trust me on this. In fact, everybody here knows intently in that what I'm saying is accurate. You're going to have to increase your identity as a man here, guys, as an entrepreneur. Because if you stay down this road of consumption and whatever and not doing, the only guys getting rich are the ones selling you the shit. It's time for you to get rich. To whatever that capability is for you. It's time for you to prove your potential to yourself. Create the lasting impact that a person has when they're a leader of an organization. I've told you guys that everything you learn from me here and on the contracting side is not anything original thought from Marshall. It's everything that was gleaned from the hard work and sacrifice of all the men that came before me. Those guys happened to do extremely well, but their legacy lived on through me. My father made all the sacrifices that were necessary for me to come and grab the mantle and go farther than he could even imagine. That was from every day banging it and banging it and banging it and banging it and not stopping. Forcing the growth of the identity and executing. The only thing that matters. Okay? I'd rather you go get a dog than watch another YouTube video. Go get a dog. He'll be your friend. Pet him at night. Get your emotionality out with a dog. Okay? Then go be a man again. Everything's going to come down to this. Nothing is going to change if we don't. And then the damage that is done by that, guys, compounds in such a significant way. Because the emotional turmoil that we go through by not turning the crank and doing what we're supposed to do when we know we're supposed to do it, compounds on the negative side of the ledger for us. Makes it that much harder to get back into the routine that we need to be in. And it beats us up because we're breaking promises to ourselves. Then our self-concept and our self-confidence goes down the tubes, which means our leading from the front, our showing and proving to our people goes down the tubes. Then the people don't have anything to believe in. Then the business is in a death spiral. Okay? The medicine doesn't taste good, but it cures you, doesn't it? All of us, I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to me. We need to take our medicine. We have a perfect opportunity today, February 18th. We can make this the best Wednesday of the year if we go out and we execute today. We keep our mentality strong. We don't cower away from the discomfort and the pressure. We use it to make us stronger. We're calling plays on the field, marching this team down the field for a touchdown. February 18th, everyone in this group is doing great. Everybody has businesses that are real. Everybody's moving forward, making money. Fantastic. I don't want you stuck in the middle. We're not doing this for our health here, guys. We are doing this for mastery, for our potential. That's my message to you guys this morning. I hope you go and do likewise. I hope you're ready to make a decision today. And just know, you're not alone. Everybody in this group is with you. I'm with you. We're here. You're not alone in what you're doing. Okay? But you are going to have to confront the demons. There's no way around it. You have to confront them. All of you guys are prepared to do it. You're all ready and you're all prepared. Use the tools. Use the skills you've learned. Okay. Any questions, comments, open forum?
just want to say thanks for not sugarcoating what it takes to get everything done.
You're welcome.
Especially someone like me starting out. You know, a lot of the motivation is it's a lot maybe easy to like knock out 2 hours of work, but it's not sustainable, like you said, and it's just fluff. It's not real. So starting at such a younger age and, you know, years ahead of business, you know, I don't know who else I'd want to be taking advice from other than the boss.
Appreciate that. You guys know I'm not about motivation and sugarcoating. I'm about actually what works. Which is why I have the smallest audience out of anybody in the space. And always will. Because of that. It's not my person. I had a conversation with my parents the other day, and I was explaining that and the whole thing that I went through at that conference with all those people and everything. And I said to my mom, I'm like, you know, I met with this guy, whatever. You guys know the story. He said, listen, Marshall, what you're doing is you're forcing people to have to actually look in the mirror and take action. And they can't do that. But if you can move a person emotionally, they'll write you any check. I can't do that. It's not my personality. I know I didn't come from a background of consulting. I came from a background of building shit. So, like, I don't know anything else but what actually has to be done. This is the only thing I know is pressure and commitment and execution. And it's baked into my hardwiring in my operating system. I can't do anything else. If I tried to be Myron Golden or if I tried to be the guy with the nose strip, if I tried to be all these guys, I couldn't do it. I can't. I can't not get in the weeds. I don't know how to do any, and I won't be able to sleep at night. High level information is not anything anyone needs. Everyone needs uniquely accurate information that they can do consistently. And that unique information is required for every single person because every person has a different set of resources, capitalization, strengths and weaknesses, and abilities. So what I can do doesn't mean it's what you can do, but it doesn't matter what I can do. The only thing that matters is what you can do. And the information that is tailor-made for you, uniquely for you to benefit. High-level information doesn't do anything for anybody, just gets the guy who's selling it rich. Doesn't get you rich. Every single person here has watched a video or something, taken notes of it perfectly, read a book from Barnes & Noble or Audible.com, mass market stuff, have followed it perfectly, and it didn't work. Why? Is it because the author's a liar? I'm not going to say that. I want to, but I ain't going to. Not because the author's a liar, because you're not the author. So he says, I do this and I do that and I do this. You can't. I can't wake up and run 50 fucking miles like David Goggins. I can't do that. So if he comes out with a book that says, this is what you have to do, you got to wake up, don't be a bitch, you got to eat raw eggs, you got to run 15 miles every morning, you got to do, I can't do that, not willing to, can't. Okay? I can't, but I got different skills that he got. Much different skills that he's got. Right? So if I followed his way of doing it, it ain't going to work for Wilkinson. Because it's not Wilkinson. What works for Wilkinson is what Wilkinson can do consistently. And what his resources are. And his capitalization. And his strengths and weaknesses. He's going to rely on his critical thinking. Wilkinson's going to rely on his critical thinking, intelligence, and ability to communicate and sell. Those are going to be the strongest legs in his stool. He's going to wield that with extreme prejudice to win. The other guy's going to wield it with something else. It doesn't matter. We're both going to wear Hall of Fame jackets. Right? The business is unique to every person. It starts with executing and finding your way in the execution. Learning quick. The best practices of doing so we lay out in this group. And your goal is to extract the best practices and see how you could uniquely implement them. And we do that together on the one-on-ones. Most importantly, expanding the identity. Most importantly, baseline for every person here. Okay, guys, that's what I got for you this morning. Okay, we got 5 minutes. I'm going to let you guys get back to work. A lot to digest here today, a lot of blunt force trauma. Okay, but I ain't going to lie to you. Every single person, everyone on this call, the fact that you're here, the fact that you're willing to commit to this, commit to being here, you all have what it takes. You have it inside of you. I want you to start building some momentum on that today. Okay? I want you to start recognizing the wins and taking credit for it and then compounding on those wins. Whatever happened in the past doesn't matter. Okay? It's only in the past. It doesn't exist in reality. What matters is today. Today, February 18th. This could be the best February 18th and the best Wednesday of our lives to date. Let's go and do it. Let's go and look at the world through that lens. And let's go execute and leave it all out there so when we come back tonight for Sales and Marketing School, we can lay our head on the pillow knowing that we did everything we could do in the best manner that was possible, lessons learned, and get ready to go do it again tomorrow. Okay, sound good? I'll be in the Discord. Sam, give me a few minutes. I'm going to go to the bathroom, get a water, then I'm going to link up with you. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Let's have a great day. Thanks for being here. Come on.
Thanks, Marshall.
Thank you.
Thank you.